Hey guys, it's Scott here from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be my top 5 older male dirt horses for the Breeders' Cup. And number 5, we're going to start with Mandalone. And I know I haven't seen him on a lot of people's other lists, but he'll make number 5 on mine because the last year he ran good as a 3-year-old. He won the Risen Star, then had that bad race, the Kentucky Derby. Uh, Originally got second in the Kentucky Derby, then got moved up, to the win spot later on, and then he won the Grade One Haskell and closed out, or yeah, that's where he closed out his season. Then he came back and won the Louisiana Stakes at the fairgrounds, and then he went to the Saudi Cup and he, fired his bad race there. But I thought that the Louisiana Stakes effort was a really good race on his part. He beat, Midnight Bourbon and Warrant's not nowhere near the top of the list of good horse. He's a decently solid horse. So for that, I'm curious to see Mandalone's been points at the Stephen Foster coming up. And for that, he's going to make my list as number 5 for right now. Number 4 is going to be Jackie's Warrior. And I know Jackie's Warrior, is going to be racing the sprint division. And maybe they could take a shot at, like the Whitney or something like that coming up. Just because, in his past performances, you can see, in like the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, he ran a mile and 16th. And then they came back, at the start of his 3-year-old season, also a mile and 16th. So they have tried it before, and maybe if they see an opening, they'll try to, see if their horse wants to stretch out. But right now, Jackie's Warrior is looking like one of the, top sprinters in North America right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that for the second half of the campaign. But for right now, Jackie's Warrior is going to be number 4, on my older dirt horse list. Uh, and it gets interesting when it comes from number 3 to number 1, because I don't think a whole lot really separates the top 3. And I'm real excited about the division this year for the older horses. It seemed like the last couple years it's kind of, been below average. It's been like the 3-year-olds and, uh, a lot of the turf division, stuff like that kind of carrying the weight. And it's nice when you have like an Arrogant or a, Gun Runner or somebody like that can, get people wanting to watch the races. And this is where we're going to get to number 3, and that's going to be Country Grammar. And this horse could easily, in the next race to make a bump up to number 1. Like that's just how tight these next 3 horses are. Like it's going to be what have you done for me lately type deal. And this horse has done nothing wrong its last, 3 or 4 races. Last year it won the Gold Cup at Santa Anita, and then it took almost 9-10 months off, and then it got second in the Grade One Saudi Cup, which is like a $20 million purse race. And then in the Bob World Cup, he won that race, defeating Hot Rod Charlie, who is coming back this weekend in the Salvatore Mile. And, for that, Country Grammar should go back under the train, being trained by Bob Baffert. And for that, I'm going to put him at number 3 now based on, his, Grade 1 win, or 2 Grade 1 wins, and then, a good second and another Grade 1 win. So for now, he's going to make number 3. And number 2 is going to be, Life is Good for now. And after the Pegasus, Life is Good was like number 1 on nearby everybody's list. And it's amazing what one bad race can do, for a horse and what people, kind of think of. Because he went to Dubai in the same race that Country Grammar won, and he fired a 4th. But that Pegasus effort was just so good. And he also defeated Nick's Go in that race. And then he also did win the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile last year and the Grade 2 Kelso Handicap. So for that, this horse has done absolutely nothing wrong. And, because of the one bad race, it's almost like he feels like a forgotten about name to some extent. Even though all it's going to take is another race like the Pegasus, and he's going to be, back up to a lot of people already talking about, Life is Good versus, Flightline in the Breeders' Cup. Like who will win that? That's kind of the matchup everybody's looking forward to. And that's going to bring me to number 1 right now. And number 1 is going to be Flightline. And Flightline is a very lightly raced horse. He's only raced 4 times. And if there's some knocks on this horse, that is space between races is a lot. You like to see him race more than he does. But this horse, every field he's faced, he's just destroyed that field. And if I want to make some slight knocks on him, especially for the Met Mile, I don't. I think he's got a little issue with his braking, so he doesn't always brake the fastest in the world. But he does seem to always find his way up at the front. But the distances have been shorter so far, and I just wonder is when the distances stretch out, and is he going to have a race where he runs into some traffic trouble against the likes of Life is Good or a country grammar or something? Would that potentially cost him the race? But just based on pure speed and everything, this horse has done absolutely nothing wrong. And because of the Met Mile win and just the way he's looked so far on the racetrack, I'm gonna have to put him at number one for now. But you can make a case that Country Grammar or Life is Good. Like by the time the Breeders' Cup comes, this could easily be flip flop. That's just how good these top horses are this year, and I'm really excited for the Breeders' Cup coming up. I think it's gonna be one of the best ones in the last few years. But let me know in the comments what y'all's top five are, and thanks for watching, guys.